Greetings YouTube and welcome back to my channel. It is a beautiful morning here in Emmen, Switzerland. Yesterday I awoke in the mountains in Italy to heavy rain and cloud and mist and all that kind of stuff. Tomorrow I'm going to be waking up in France. I wonder what that's going to bring. Only one way to find out. Let's have it. So here I am in last night's Airbnb. Perfectly nice, sharing with a very nice family. It's all very active here, although that was last night. At the moment it's all quiet. It's quite early. What time is it? It's 7:30 in the morning, but I was in bed quite early, so I've awoke and I'm ready to start the day. I keep promising you that I'll show you where I was on the map. So the day before yesterday, I started the day, where was I? Here, on this lovely lake, Trasimeno, and I made my way to Florence. It was absolutely fantastic. I loved Florence. And then from there, I worked my way. I'm not sure exactly what roads I took because I came off the motorway and worked my way long, past Milan, and then I ended up camping between Lake Como and Lake Lugano in the mountains about here. And then yesterday I headed over into Switzerland, and I will try and show you on the Swiss map where I went. Right, it seems a bit more difficult on the Swiss map to show you where I was. The problem I have, if I don't show you the actual day, which it doesn't always work out that way, I invariably can't remember the roads that I was actually on, so it's very vague and I apologise about that. So I started the day somewhere around here up in the mountains. There's Lake Como, there's Lugano. I was somewhere here and I worked my way into Switzerland, and then probably along this road here, I think. Now I would have taken Gotthard Pass, but it was closed, as are all the mountain passes at the moment because it's early April. So instead I went through the tunnel, and then I came along here. I turned over the page, continued along here, and I came to Lauterbrunnen, where we went to that underwater waterfall, which I thought was amazing. I then came back, had dinner, and ended last week's episode in Grindelwald with a very hot curry. Then after that I then worked my way back along here, and I'm now in Emmen. And today is going to see me back into France, and I'm aiming to stay at a place I always used to call Troyes, but apparently my partner's corrected me and it's Troyes, I think. So let's get on with it. The sun's shining, no time to waste. I had to park the bike a little way away from where I was staying last night, so I've got my fingers crossed it's still going to be there. I'll find out when I round this corner. All good, there it is. I really would be very upset if this old girl went missing, definitely. So this is today's route from Emmen to Troyes. Google Maps wants to take me this way, but if I click on this, I save 2% in petrol, and it also takes me through a national park, I believe. So that's the route I want to take. I'm probably going to go with this rather than this, because I don't think I'll be able to select the route quite as easily, but I'll have a go first. I won't waste time showing you on camera. I'll just see if I can do it. Right, you'll be pleased to know that the Nav6 agrees that the address exists,
but as I thought, it's doesn't easily want to give me a choice of routes, and it wants to take me the way I don't want to go. So I'm going to run them both at the moment, and then when I get to the point that I've gone past the alternative route that I want to do, I'll just switch back to the nav6 and let it guide me to my bed tonight. But the most pressing thing this morning is breakfast. I've not had a coffee or any breakfast or anything, and then fuel as well, I guess. So it says I've got 4 hours 58 of riding, 419 kilometers to go to get to Troyes as I call it, but I'm wrong obviously. So that always takes slightly longer, so probably add a couple of hours with stops and stuff, which should get me to my destination about 4 o'clock this afternoon, which will be perfect because I can check in between 3 and 5. And then I think what I will do is head into the city of Troyes and get myself a meal. I've never seen it. It's one of those places that I've always ridden past the sign on the road, and I think once I stopped in a Formula 1 hotel just on the outskirts on my way down to Saint-Tropez on my Road King 20 or so years ago. So it'll be good to check it out. Snowy mountains in the distance, I don't suppose you can see them, but they look gorgeous. Won't see any more of those for a while. Right, so already Google Maps wants me to turn right and the nav6 wants me to turn left. I'm following Google Maps at the moment simply because I think it's going to be a more interesting route. Maybe the nav6 will recalculate itself and agree. No, it wants me to turn around at the moment. Not doing that. Well, Emmen looks pretty. I didn't see it when I arrived. It was dark. It looks nice. Well, a simple breakfast courtesy of these services beckons a cup of coffee and something to eat, and that will probably be the last thing that I buy in Switzerland. It's all a bit expensive here, to be honest. And then I'm going to turn Google Maps off because the nav6 and Google Maps seem to agree with each other now. So all is good, hopefully. This is more upmarket than your normal motorway services. Those prices are latte macchiato $5.95. That's for a small one, and that's Swiss francs, which are roughly the same as a euro. So you're talking about £5 for a coffee. Perfect. Perfect. I won't need to stop for a while. I'm not going to get fuel yet. Wait till I get a bit lower. Still got half a tank. I feel sad to be saying goodbye to the mountains. It was such a thrill to be riding around Andermatt and Lauterbrunnen yesterday. To be riding in the snow, that was great. In fact, it was snowing on me as well. I wasn't expecting to do that. I think that's Lake Luzerne to my left. I'm sure somebody will put me right if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. So I had to pull over and stop because the GoPro decided to just freeze. I was recording and then it wouldn't turn off, it wouldn't do anything, it just froze, as it's wont to do from time to time. Yesterday, heading into Grindelwald, as if you saw last week's episode, it just decided to delete about 15 minutes worth of footage as I arrived at the ski resort. Nothing I can do about it. It's just the way it is. So I stopped here in this very convenient electric car charging facility just on the side of the road, which is the future, I guess. People are sat there by picnic tables waiting for their cars to charge up. But I thought whilst I was here, what I would do is show you my tyres. Now, I've been saying that I'm keeping an eye on them. As you may already know, I have Michelin Aniki Wilds on the bike. Now, I put them on almost a year ago when I went to do the Wild Atlantic Way with my son Ben, who was in his Land Rover at the time. And I was anticipating doing some green lanes, so I wanted some 50/50 tyres, sort of okay for the road, okay for off-road as well. As it turned out, we didn't do a lot of green laning. And in that time, since then, I've had 2 rear tyres, and that's the same front tyre. Now, this front tyre is just getting to the point where it's reached the wear indicators. There is about 12,000 miles on that tyre. That's pretty cool, I think. This is my second rear tyre. Now, this is hopefully squared up, hopelessly squared off, because it's done so many motorway miles when I went down to Morocco and on this trip as well. And this is just reaching the wear limits again. As you can see, it's like a flat edge and then round we go. Even yesterday's lovely twisty roads haven't rounded it back off again. But the rear tyre has got about 6,000 miles on it. So I think that's an incredible longevity for these tyres. Now, off-road in Morocco in the sand, they were really, really good. I mean, the biggest handicap there riding through the Sahara was me. Not the bike or the tyres, it was me. It was a big learning curve. On the road, these are quite noisy, and they make a little bit more vibration come through the handlebars, but not excessively so. They don't vibrate, or my handlebars on this bike don't vibrate anywhere near like my old Yamaha XT660 Tenere I used to, and not even like my Africa Twin I had. I had the 1000cc version, an early one, and that used to make my hands go numb on a motorway, where this bike doesn't. So when I took these off, I replaced a set of Aniki Adventures. Now, when I get back from this trip, I'm going to put some Aniki Adventures back on it again, because they're more, I don't know, a 70/30 maybe, road bias tyre, as opposed to a 50/50. And I don't envisage any sort of major off-roading imminently. My next big trip is with Ben, who won't be in his Land Rover, but he will be he will be on his Triumph Tiger 660 Sport. He passed his test a few months ago, and we're going to do a tour together of the Black Forest. By putting the Adventures back on, it will be a much smoother and more suitable ride for doing twisty roads and motorways again. So anyway, I think I've sorted out the GoPro literally by taking the battery out and putting it back in. If anybody can tell me in the comments what's going wrong with the GoPro, that would be greatly received, because it's really annoying to have to stop to then take the media mod off, break everything down, put it all back together again. It's all a bit of a faff. Anyway, there you go. There was a little tyre episode out of the blue, and I'm going to get back on the road because France is getting closer. Look, here's the sign. It's a convenient sign. I'll be back in France before you know it, and the sun is still shining. Well, it looks like I'm officially entering the city, so I must be closer than I was thinking. Maybe the part I'm in is just like a suburb. I thought it was a separate town, but probably wrong. And I believe that the old part of the town is very, very beautiful, and I intend to have a walk around that later. Yeah, this looks like the picture on the Airbnb listing. Rue de Morot. Is that what I'm supposed to be on? I don't know. Yeah, this is the right place. Cool. Okay. Now, if I am within walking distance of the old centre of Troyes, then I will be walking in later. If not, I'll be riding in. That looks like home for the night. So far, not so good. I haven't managed to get hold of them. Well, I've been here a while now. I've tried phoning them, I've tried messaging them, I've tried ringing random numbers on the actual doorbell, the apartment. Nothing. I had a funny feeling this one wasn't going to be straightforward. I don't know why. Anyway, all I can do is keep trying at the minute. Well, just been talking to Airbnb, and they're going to try and contact the host, and they've given it a deadline of an hour. If they don't get back to me in an hour, then they'll cancel the booking and give me a refund, and they say they'll help me find somewhere else. And I've said I don't want it to be any more expensive, and I also need it to be in the same location. So this is the first problem I've ever had with Airbnb. Usually it's really, really good. I just had a feeling. I don't know why. I just had a feeling about this one. Anyway, all I can do is sit here for an hour and wait, I guess. That's all I can do. And fingers crossed it will get sorted out. But it's a bit annoying when I could be settled and then I could be walking into town. Anyway, what can you do? There's nothing I can do, so all I can do is sit here and enjoy the fact that it's not pouring. I'm sat in the sunshine, so it's not the end of the world, is it? But it's almost been the hour, still waiting. Update time. So Airbnb have contacted me and said they can't get hold of the host either, so they've cancelled the booking, which will take 10 days to come back into my account, and they said they'll help me find a new place to stay, so hopefully that will bypass the waiting for a host to get back in touch and approve it, because that takes ages. They have 24 hours to respond. So I'm going to start packing stuff back on the bike, because I'm obviously not staying here, and I don't know, watch this space. Sometimes it doesn't go to plan. Further update. So Airbnb have now got back to me and said feel free to look for another listing yourself. So basically I'm on my own, but the problem is you send in a reservation on Airbnb and then the hosts can take up to 24 hours to respond, which is an issue when it's the evening you want to stay. You've got to hope somebody is on it and responds straight away. I'm going to try that, and if not, I'll be looking for a hotel, I guess. Oh, it's been 2 hours now. I've put in another request which is pending. It says usually the host responds within an hour, so fingers crossed. This one's closer to the centre of the old centre-ville, and it's a 20-minute walk as opposed to a 45-minute walk which I would have had here. It looks like a far nicer apartment. I'm not just saying that, it does. It's also much more expensive, so I'll wait and see if they get back to me, and if they don't, then it's hotel next, or I could put my tent up on that bit of grass just over there. Probably a good idea, because I could dry it out then. Ooh, the saga continues. Hopefully it's not really drawn out in the episode, but it's really drawn out here, I can tell you. It's been 2 hours now trying to sort this out. But I've just put in a request with a place that uses a key box and a code for check-in, so I'm hoping that means that it won't be quite so reliant on the owner actually being around. Still waiting for them to respond, obviously. What I'm going to do is be proactive again, and I'm going to head in the direction of the address. What have I got to lose? I might as well. And then if this one fails, I'm going to try and find a hotel, because this is getting silly. Right, I'm closer. You see, until the reservation's confirmed, you don't get the actual address, you just get sort of rough coordinates. So I'm somewhere nearby. Fingers crossed they get back to me. At least I'm by a petrol station. I can buy a sandwich if need be. I can probably use the loo, which is becoming an issue. Whilst I'm waiting, I think I'm going to start looking up campsites, because there must be one near Troyes somewhere. Don't know how to say it. Getting beyond the point of caring, to be honest. And if I'm on a campsite out of town, I won't be coming into the centre. It'll just be what it is. That'll be my plans for the evening kind of gone out the window. But it may be a necessity, because I don't think I can afford a hotel unless there's some super budget one knocking about. Anyway, back to it. Thank goodness for the phone. Otherwise, what would you do? Final update, I hope. No response from the host. It is now 25 to 7. It's going to be getting dark soon. I checked out hotels, way too expensive for me. £80 a night, £90 a night, stuff like that. Can't afford that. So I found a campsite. The only problem is it's 45 minutes away. The one I thought was 7.5 miles away wasn't. 45 minutes away. In a national park by a lake, so it'd probably be quite nice. I'm hoping to get there before it's dark and get the tent up. The tent's going to be soaked through because it was absolutely soaked when I put it away. But maybe it'll give it an opportunity to dry, because I'm planning on going to San Quentin tomorrow, which I'm planning to take only D roads and not pay any tolls, and that's not very far. It's only 2.5 hours or something, so I can afford, if it's not raining in the morning, to let the tent dry out, which actually will do me a favour. And it says the campsite has a cafe. Hopefully it will still be open. I'll be able to eat something. If not, I might be hungry. Bonsoir. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir, ça va? Vous avez fait bonne route?
Parlez-vous anglais?
Yes, I do.
Excellent, because I don't speak much French.
I was expecting a Belgium guy. That's the reason why I spoke French. Somebody told me he would arrive just after 7, so I said okay.
No, I made a reservation with Pitch Up.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it's Steve Winch.
Okay, good.
Perfect.
Long drive today?
I've been on the road since about 9 this morning. Yeah, I was in Switzerland earlier.
My friend come from Switzerland, but they are going back home, so...
Right. So, result. I'm going to put my tent on this terrace, because it'll then be dry in the morning. And I have a lovely place here, a really, really lovely place. And about 5 minutes in that direction is a pizza place, and there's a pizza with my name on it. I've bought a bottle of the locally brewed beer, which is in my pannier, my top box. In fact, I'm going to show it to you. Brewed by a local lady who lives on the farm just here. Just realised I haven't got a bottle opener, never mind. Some nuts. I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. So I'm going to end the video here. There's not going to be a map thing today, again, I'm afraid. But I'm going to end it here and say it doesn't always work out, does it? But it's actually worked out okay. I had a really glorious ride getting here from Douai, and I can see that city another time. Tomorrow I'm going to take my time and break down a dry tent, hopefully, and have a little look around. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. It's been a frustrating one, but we got there in the end. And if you haven't already liked the channel, please, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Give the video a like, and I will see you tomorrow morning in the next one. Bye bye. So just when you think the day can't get any worse, 2 tent poles snap, rip through the tent. So this is my last night sleeping in this, if I get any sleep, because I think it's going to fall down. Oh dear.